What's up, budget builders? My name is Trill, and we are back again to discuss the fourth stimulus update, the $3.5 trillion infrastructure bill that Joe Manchin is causing some major issues with right now. Earlier last week, Joe Manchin came out and said that the Democrats need to push the brakes on the massive stimulus bill. Well, he said they need to pause it, but it means the same, guys. Joe Manchin continues to be a bottleneck for the Democrats in trying to pass this massive legislation to improve the economy as well as to provide more stimulus relief aid to the American people. Manchin suggested that $3.5 trillion is just way too much money. And late last night, he stated that he supports closer to only $1 trillion. This is going to be a major blow for the Democrats as they are just a couple of weeks away of completing the draft of the bill, of the budget resolution bill. Manchin claims to be a straight up Democrat, but some people are questioning whether that's actually true or not. We are going to talk about it today. Also, there is more news surrounding those two stimulus checks that were proposed a few weeks ago. Could we really see something like this happen? Well, the Democrats pretty much have control in doing whatever they see fit to do right now. And even if they don't want to tie stimulus checks directly to another one-time check, they could still issue it in the form of an adult tax credit. We also have some daily news bites that I want to share with you today as well. So before we get started, hey, if this is your first time to the channel, hey, welcome and glad to have you. On this channel, we talk about finance, real estate, credit cards, Bitcoin and crypto, and stimulus update news. So if you are interested in any of those, go ahead and hit the subscribe button for me. That way you can join our community. Also, if you end up liking the content in this video or even laughing at one of my jokes, then be sure to like this video. Other than that, guys, hey, let's go ahead and jump right into the video. Okay, guys, Joe Manchin is back again. Well, let me rephrase that because he just won't leave, guys. But the Democrats actually need him to stay around. Joe Manchin is now saying that he only is willing to support up to $1 trillion for the infrastructure bill. Manchin has actually notified the White House and congressional leaders that he has specific policy concerns with Biden's $3.5 trillion social spending bill. He said he will support as little as $1 trillion of it, which is actually less than the previous bipartisan bill. That bill was around $1.2 trillion, but he did eventually say that at most, he would be willing to support up to $1.5 trillion. Manchin has been voicing his concerns for a while now regarding the price tag of this bill and the things that are loosely covered within it. He is not too fond of the $400 billion for home caregivers that's being proposed in the bill. He is uneasy about the dynamic scoring methodology that's used to offset some of the cost of the spending itself. However, Manchin does support some of the proposals like extending the enhanced child tax credit. Right now, it provides up to $300 per child per month. Right now, they are trying to extend it to the year of 2025 or even indefinitely. And surprisingly, Manchin supports the free community college and the universal preschool, which would in turn save the average family about $13,000 if that proposal is actually implemented. And then Manchin has concerns around the inflation in the future and how much the government is spending right now to respond to the COVID cases and how much will be needed to spend if the virus continues to rampage. But on the flip side, Manchin does support a few proposals in this bill, but obviously he has several that he is not willing to sign up for. Now, I know I made a joke earlier that I wish Joe Manchin would just leave and go away, but frankly, he can't. The Democrats need him and his vote in order to carry out legislation this year and some of next year. Manchin makes up the 50th vote in the Senate and is needed to pass this bill and any future bills for that matter. So Manchin plays a significant role for the Democrats right now, and he knows it. He knows it, guys, which is why he is playing his deck of cards to get exactly what he wants in return. So we really don't know what that is, but y'all know these lawmakers. Their motto is, what's in it for me? So they have to figure out how to please Manchin in order to get his support for this massive $3.5 trillion bill. And if they are unable to, then the Democrats might have an even bigger problem. Pramila Jayapal warned the Democrats about 2 weeks ago that if they are unable to pass the $3.5 trillion bill, then the Democrats could lose the House, meaning that Republicans could very likely take over the House of Representatives in the election in 2022. So it's crucial that the Dems are able to please Joe Manchin right now and get him on board with supporting this bill. Whatever that will take, they need his vote. And right now, that's what the legislation is looking like. Manchin is only willing to support up to $1.5 trillion on this bill, which is less than half of the current price tag. Now, when Joe Manchin said last week that they should pause on the infrastructure bill, Bernie Sanders has some choice words for Manchin. Bernie Sanders responded in a tweet and said, "Rebuilding our crumbling physical infrastructure, roads, bridges, water systems is important. Rebuilding our crumbling human infrastructure, healthcare, education, climate change is more important. No infrastructure bill without the $3.5 trillion reconciliation bill." So Bernie Sanders is letting Joe Manchin know that if you're not willing to vote for the reconciliation bill, then Bernie has the power to make sure that the bipartisan bill doesn't pass as well. Bernie put the smackdown on Manchin, y'all. I'm telling you. Anyways, the Democrats are still working on the draft of this bill and hope to have it completed by next week on September the 15th. Now, within this draft, some are suggesting that it could include as much as 2 stimulus checks. Both would be around $1,400 each for a total of $2,800. Now, I reported on this issue last week, but this has gotten way more traction in the last 7 days and has gotten more people talking about it. This article right here on the screen says that Congress has paved the way for them, which is actually true, guys, because Congress has laid out this huge price tag of $3.5 trillion, which means they have enough money to include 2 $1,400 stimulus checks, or it could very well be monthly stimulus checks. We've actually seen this in the third stimulus package. They included monthly stimulus checks in the form of a child tax credit. Those with children could see as much as $300 per child per month. So in the fourth stimulus package, they could convert stimulus checks to an adult tax credit, which could provide stimulus relief aid each month. Now, calm down. I seriously doubt it would be $1,400 check per month. But what if adults could receive the same amount as the child tax credit? That amount of money could help millions of Americans put food on their table, put people from poverty, and keep people from falling below the poverty line, which is what President Biden feels strongly about. Someone should do a petition on Americans getting an adult tax credit. I think that would definitely get the votes, guys. But anyways, hey, we have a major bottleneck in the fourth stimulus package right now. Will this situation get any better as we finally see the first draft of this bill coming out on September the 15th? Maybe negotiations will happen directly with Joe Manchin prior to next week. I mean, we just never know, guys. But I will keep you guys posted on any updates that I receive. Now, in other news, 252,000 children have tested positive in the U.S. during this new school year. As millions of students return back to classrooms, we are having the biggest pediatric surge yet. Now, those 252,000 people or children was just in the past week alone, but a total of around 750,000 pediatric cases since last month. The Delta variant is definitely affecting more kids than the previous strain. Across the U.S., about 2,400 children are hospitalized with the infection right now. And just alone in Texas, they have the most hospitalized children than anywhere else in the country. Texas has 345 children hospitalized right now. And that number was only 282 last Thursday. I just don't know what else to say about this topic, guys. But anyways, lastly, more than 9 million individuals lost their unemployment benefits as of Sunday. 3 million of those will see weekly checks reduced by $300. The Democrats failed to extend the unemployment benefits until later this year. As a result, the Democrats are receiving major pressure as they have potentially failed the American people. Now, New York alone had around 800,000 people lose their unemployment benefits. 3 federal jobless aid programs have lapsed as a result. But some people believe that the unemployment benefits expiring is a good thing. Professor Anthony Zinka said, "We're ending all those things that are things keeping people from going back to work." He said, "Joe Biden is our enemy," which we have seen reports in the past how some people are receiving more money on unemployment than they were actually receiving at their full-time job. And these are the facts, guys. But they don't stand for everyone. Believe me, they don't. Everyone is not taking advantage of the system like some people are. If you look at the actual numbers, there are more than around 10 million jobs available right now, and 8 million people need one, which begs the question, where is the disconnect at? Are these hiring companies really not hiring anyone, or are there not enough people applying for jobs right now? Depending on where you live, if you worked at a fast food place, you're probably making more money on unemployment benefits than you were at your job, but that only applies to a few people. Jeff Stein has called out on Biden to reverse his position and to extend the unemployment benefits, but that would go against the Biden administration, because Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen and Labor Secretary Marty Walsh sent a letter to lawmakers last month saying it's appropriate to allow the expanded $300 weekly boost to expire on September the 6th as scheduled. The Biden administration has suggested that states can actually reallocate their existing federal funds to continue offering the unemployment benefits. But hey, anyways guys, my time is up for today. This has been another 4th stimulus check update for today. Now, if you enjoy any of this information or found it to be useful, be sure to hit the like button for me. It definitely helps out a lot, and it also tells YouTube to share this video with others. And if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button for me so that you can be a part of this community, and hit the notification bell to be notified of each new video. Again, as always, hey, I appreciate you guys stopping by and watching, and I hope to see you on the next video. Peace.